Tonight I'll be reading from 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 1 through 3. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 1 through 3. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and although I have all faith so that I could remove mountains and have not charity, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned and have not charity, it profiteth me nothing.
If you're reading along in our one-word devotional book this year, you'll know that this week we've been reading a lot about the word love and some of the various passages that deal with love in the Bible, and one of those, of course, is that 1 Corinthians 13. Love is defined in a lot of different ways. I personally think that chapter 13 of 1 Corinthians gives us a really good definition of that. Share a few other things with you before we get to that passage. In Margaret Walker's novel Jubilee, tells the story of a slave family before and during the Civil War, and one of the conversations reveals their definition of love, what they considered love. They described it this way. It says, "Love is that stretches your heart and makes you bigger inside with a bigger heart, so you can love everybody when your heart is big enough. Your chest gets broad like this, and you can lock the world with a loving heart." Someone else has said, "Love is more than the 3 words mumbled before bedtime. Love is sustained by action, a pattern of devotion in the things we do for each other every day." Karen Sunday has famously written, "To love is to receive a glimpse of heaven." One of the songs in Rodgers and Hammerstein's musical classic Cinderella asks this question: "Do I love you because you're beautiful, or are you beautiful because I love you?" In his discussion of the bonds felt by soldiers who fight together, Anton de Saint-Exupéry wrote these words: "Life has taught us that love does not consist in gazing at each other, but in looking outward together in the same direction." Love is something that's powerful. It's something that is mentioned throughout Scripture. It is something that is expected for us not only to receive, but also to give. Love is something that we do as we direct our love toward God and toward Jesus, but it is also something that we do as we direct our love toward each other. In 1 Corinthians 13 is a great description of love, a great definition of love. And I want to read to you verses 4 through 7 out of the translation, the Great Book, and let you hear this definition of love. A loving person is patient, is kind, is not jealous, is not boastful, is not proud, is not rude, is not interested only in himself, is even-tempered, does not hold grudges, is not happy when someone else does wrong, is happy when truth wins, never quits, always trusts, always hopes, always keeps on going." Love is one of those things that we all need, but it's also one of those things that we all need to give. So as we go through the rest of this week, if you've not finished all of your devotional thoughts this week, as we think about those different passages, and one of those being 1 Corinthians 13, but others that talk about the way that love is seen, the way it's defined, the way it's exemplified, the way it acts out, that sort of thing, let's challenge ourselves to be loving people, to find people that need our love, to show that love, to be loving people. And if we as individuals do our part in being loving individuals, then obviously that translates into us being a very loving congregation. So my challenge for us is to find some people that we think need a little extra attention, need a little extra time, a little extra love, a little extra conversation, and share with them those things. One of the greatest definitions of love is seen in that God demonstrated his love toward us. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. God's love was demonstrated in a way that really is almost unimaginable for us. But he did that so that we could have salvation. He did that because he loved us enough that he wanted us to spend eternity with him. As we sing this song of encouragement tonight, ask yourself how you have received that love. Have you accepted the gift that he gave? Have you responded with obedience, with faithfulness, with baptism? Have you responded with living that life of love toward him and loving him as he loved us? If you're here tonight and we can help you in any way, we invite you to come as together we stand and as we sing.